Welcome back to Training Camp. It's the show where three roommates just said, hey, we talk about sports so dang much. Let's just throw it on a podcast, see if anybody listens. Today is always good to have you. It is our second episode on the YouTube. Everybody clap.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yes. Second episode on the YouTube. If you guys want to check us out, and we check us right here. Oh, yeah. You can check us out at, go ahead and search The Training Camp Actually, I think it's just Training Camp Podcast. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll find it. It's one of those.
You'll find it. It's called Training Camp Podcast. Go give us a sub on the YouTubes. And as always, if you're listening on the traditional platforms, Apple Music, Spotify, go ahead and give us a like, follow us, give us a review, and then throw a comment down there. Especially if you're listening on Apple Music. I see you guys listening on Apple Music. Go leave us a rating.
I think the first week on YouTube, we got 45 views and 45 on the podcast. So
yeah,
that's bigger than our last audience.
That's true. And if you're listening on both, thank you. That's cool.
Yeah, ball out, I guess.
Griffin, what's going on, man?
What is going on, boys? It's a good weekend to be a sports fan of our teams. We'll get into that, but we don't get many of those weekends. We got to celebrate them when we get them. So.
That's so true.
Best in recent memory that I can think of, being a Tennessee sports fan. Excited for the Preds to start this week.
Yeah.
Baseball playoffs for y'all start
for Griffin
Thursday. Yes, sir. Go Cards, baby! This Thursday. Yeah.
You know, it was funny. You go. It's a good week for our sports teams, and I was like, yeah. Number one, the Vols didn't play, and number two, the Titans won, so we're good.
I know. Titans dub. Vols didn't play. Texans, Colts lost. Cardinals playoffs.
Jags won, but we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, guys, as you can see, we're all kind of wearing a different team today. So Griffin's wearing Cardinals jersey, represent. Will's wearing his Mariota jersey, which
King.
After last week, and I'd be afraid to break that out, but hey, I guess we're good. We're good now. And I'm wearing my Boston Red Sox hat, which rest in peace, the playoffs where we didn't get there this year. Maybe we can get a new GM with a better bullpen coach. I think that'd be great. And of course, I'm repping the Preds. Okay, first game Thursday. Predators play the Wild. Watch for a good time.
Where is that? Is that at home?
Yeah, no, it's away.
Away?
Yeah, it's in Minnesota. But guys, as always, you can find us on YouTube. Search Training Camp Podcast. You can find me on Instagram at _JBeard. Boys, let them know where they can find you on Insta before we get started.
GBump17.
Instagram and Twitter, it's Will's World with double D's on the end.
And, yeah, guys, let's hop right into it. Titans at the Falcons. Y'all actually went. I was out of town, but y'all actually went. Tell me about Mercedes-Benz.
Dude, Mercedes-Benz may be the coolest stadium I've ever been into in my life. So, we talked about this earlier, Will. I don't know. That was my first time ever seeing a game in a dome. Any other than, like, hockey, obviously, but, like, football game in a dome.
So, I went to the old Georgia Dome before they demolished it, but this was by far blew it out of the water. This was one of the coolest buildings I've ever been in. You walk in, it's not like you're in a what is it called? The hallway, corridor,
concourse.
Yes. You walk in, you're not like in the concourse. You're literally like in the stadium, like looking up, like you see the glass roof.
Like a giant room.
Yeah, it was like one giant room. Yeah. Their owner or whoever owns the stadium and team have fan first pricing, so you can get a hot dog for $1.50. You can get a 12-ounce beer for $5. A can of beer for like some special ones for $3. And you don't get that at sports events these days. So that was pretty cool that they care about their fans. But
do you think that did you see when you guys went down there that they had like a bunch of fair weather fans, or do you think it was like a pretty dedicated fan base?
We kind of went back and forth on that because going into the stadium, I heard Falcons fans usually come close to selling it out pretty much every game, but then we got to our seats and kickoff came and there was nobody there. So
they are playing the Titans too, but
so the stadium was probably, I'd say, less than 50%, 60.
It was definitely over half.
At one point, they were just so spread out, and the stadium's so big, and it's like the lower bowl wasn't big, but it's kind of like the Red Wings up in Detroit that Wyatt was telling us about. It's
like Little Caesars place.
There's so much to do in the stadium. There's like all you can drink bars, all you can eat clubs. Like there's more to do than watch the football game.
Yeah.
So like I feel like a lot of those fans were drinking and eating the entire game rather than staying in their seats because it felt pretty empty. Like the Titans fans made noise probably more often than the Falcons fans, but
we were trying to relate Falcons fans like Falcons fans to Titans fans, and we were like, the attendance with the Falcons fans makes the Titans fan attendance look amazing because I don't know the last time we sold out Nissan Stadium. It's probably been a while.
Yeah.
But when the woman next to me, sitting in the stadium, the woman next to me, we were talking about the fans, and she was like, yeah, it's just a really hot day outside. It was probably like, 90, 92 degrees outside. And I'm like, we're sitting in a dome. It's like 68 degrees in here. And she's like, man, the walk from the tailgate to the stadium,
Oh my God, it's so tragic.
She was like, I almost died. I don't know how the fans would do this. That's why there's nobody here. I'm like, yeah, okay, you have a dome.
Think about the Pack, like up there in Green Bay. Think about their tailgate to see.
I mean, or Buffalo, like when it's like, I don't think it gets more north than that. Buffalo and the Packers, like their weather's horrible, and those fans are there no matter what, rain or shine, pouring down, blizzard. Like they sell it, and one day the Titans will be there. Maybe after we win the Super Bowl this year.
Dude,
But,
Titans dome would be so much fun. It would get loud too.
Sorry, that swig of water was loud.
I don't know. I kind of feel like at least for a home team, half the fun of football is like being outside. But I understand the benefits to a dome, but I don't know. I'd be down for either. If it was a Mercedes-Benz dome like that, then sign me up.
Well, now that we talked about the stadium, let's dive right into the numbers. Titans beat the Falcons 24-10. Some notable things that I wrote down when I was watching the game on TV was, we finally have a spread offense. Thank you, Arthur
It's about
Smith.
time.
Jesus. We had 5 sacks. Matt Ryan was sacked 5 times. The last one, that was a show where he just got, like, table-topped.
Oh, was that where he tried to jump and like...
Yeah, it was like their 4th down.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah. And they tried... he just went right down.
Tried to hurdle someone unsuccessfully.
But the thing that I wrote down to talk about, guys, was Marcus. And Marcus, for this Falcons game, he had 227 yards in the air, 3 touchdowns, and 129 quarterback rating. Now, if you guys have tuned in for multiple episodes in a row, you know that we're talking about Marcus his whole year up to this point, and this includes the Falcons game. He has 933 yards and 7 touchdowns. So he pretty much halved both of his stats like this game.
Yeah, and really, most of that was in the first half. We kind of reeled it in and just ran the ball the second half because we obviously wanted to drain the clock. We were up by a lot, and I think if we would have let our offense just go like that the entire time, he could have probably put up 5 touchdowns, maybe 400 yards. But obviously we didn't need to, so there's no point. But
yeah, I thought it was super cool. Just a little bit like where we were sitting. So we were sitting 3rd row, right behind the goalpost, 3rd deck, front row, right behind the goalpost, so you could see exactly like what Marcus was saying or what Matt Ryan was saying. It was almost like the view in Madden when you play Madden. Like you could see.
You're talking about like the view.
Yeah, that we had.
You couldn't hear it.
No. You could see it. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, so it was like somebody would break open and mark, especially that throw to Corey, that the last touchdown, he threw it like way before Corey even came out of his break, which is really cool to see. Like the
was
anticipation.
that on your side?
yes.
Yeah, that was on our side.
Oh, thank God. Because I was texting Will midway, and when Matt Bryant missed that kick in the first half, I was like, please tell me that was on y'all's side. And he's like, no.
That wasn't on our side, yeah.
No, but yeah, you can see like the formation of the defense. You can see the formation of the offense. You can see like the weak spots. Like I remember there's one 3rd and 13 or something like that. And I turned to Griffin. I was like, Corey just needs to run up the seam and turn a little to the right, and he's wide open. And that's exactly what Marcus did. I think it's. I would prefer probably sitting there over being in the front row in the end zone because you can't like see the other side of the field. You can't see formations really, but like you're obviously closer to the players. But
Would you rather sit on the 50?
50 a little high up, probably not the first row.
But I mean, like if you're sitting at like on the 50-yard line or like anywhere between the 45 and the 45, about 10 or 12 rows up. Would you rather sit there or like where you guys sat?
I'd probably rather sit there.
Yeah.
But these seats they're cool. You can see everything, and obviously there's better seats in the house. But for
Would you like $50?
Devoted football fans,
55.
55, but
yeah.
yeah, and they're my uncle's season tickets, but he sold them to us for face value, which was cool.
I mean, I brought that up because what you were talking about Marcus, Jack, he just made some throws that were like, I've never seen Marcus make those good of throws in my life.
Never.
Like. And from our angle, you could tell we were like, how is he making these throws right now? I couldn't believe it.
And to wide receivers, too. I mean,
know.
you guys obviously weren't watching the game on commentary but or on TV, but they were saying how, like, the 3 touchdowns that he threw were to wide receivers.
Yeah.
That wide receivers were balling out this week. I mean, AJ looked so damn good. and especially like his shove off and his second touchdown.
Oh yeah,
like, in the back right side.
Okay, tell me about that.
Beautiful.
You were watching on TV.
Yeah, I was watching on TV.
I've seen the fast replay, but tell me about like the push off because I keep hearing he pushed off and.
Well, okay, it wasn't a push off. It was just beautiful like control of his body. So he was running up the sides, shoved. I don't know who was the DB on his left side, but he was like playing with him on the left side, kind of boxing him out. And then like as soon as he saw the ball coming over his left shoulder, he let off. So then that creates separation.
Yeah.
And then he snagged it right over his left shoulder. It was beautiful.
That's got to be top 10 of one of Marcus's best throws that I've seen.
That was
like
a heck of a throw.
But Corey did the same thing on the left side too. Just he was on the side and not.
Oh, and the balance on the sideline.
Yeah.
We were talking about that.
Yeah, that was right in front of us, and like he looked like he was going to get hit out of bounds or something. He just like straight up started running straight after looking like he was falling down the left.
So AJ and Corey. What did I say? AJ.
Yeah,
right.
AJ Brown.
I'm right. AJ and Corey. Let's see. Combined, they had 5, 6, 7, 8 catches, almost 200 yards, and 3 receptions between the two of them. That's
3
cool.
touchdowns.
And that's huge because I think we noticed while we were there, and
Oh, sorry. Resume.
I think we noticed, and what we knew coming into the week, Delaney had done something. I think it was a hamstring or something at practice. So he was really only on the field when we needed him to be. So I'm glad that our receivers stepped up, and we didn't have Delaney on the field the entire time like usual. So I'm glad our receivers and Marcus could step up and utilize each other without the presence of his favorite target usually.
It was weird to see, like you were talking about, the spread offense and how much we were throwing to the receivers. But then I ask myself, like, how much is that a week-to-week thing? Like, they probably didn't have the best pass rushers or their DBs weren't that great. Like,
I don't know.
I feel like it's so much in the game plan. Like, I'd love.
Do you think it was a scheme? Like, do you think against the Jags, we were going to play that tight?
Yeah, that's what I just think. Like, they're like the coaches say, okay, it's against the Falcons. We can take advantage of our receivers against their DBs. But when we're playing the Jags, it's like, okay, we're going to run it and throw it to Delaney every once in a while.
We also threw the ball to like 5 different targets in his first like 8 passes. And so I'm like, that never happened. It was just Corey. Or not Corey. It was just Delaney the first like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And if you were covering Delaney, then your receivers didn't get any actions. They didn't get hot. So I think that was definitely a factor because we could spread the ball around.
And I think it's huge too. There was that one replay, we saw the game and saw the replay where Marcus actually did get pressured. He stepped up, looked like a real NFL quarterback, and just lasered the ball in there. It wasn't.
Where the guy was coming right behind him?
Yeah, he didn't panic.
Yeah.
He actually like stepped up and looked like a Tom Brady, if I'd say so myself.
Oh my God, that's a little bit of a stretch. So I have one stat for you boys. Marcus is. I think you guys know this. Marcus is the only quarterback right now who's started all 4 games and has yet to turn the ball over. I know he had that fumble, but he recovered it. I mean, no picks, no fumbles that the other team recovered. Only QB in the NFL that's done that so far. I know we're not taking a lot of risks, but
I mean, hey,
impressive.
not turning the ball over is not easy in the NFL. I mean, 7 touchdowns, 0 picks, no fumbles lost, which is nice. I know we fumbled 3 times that game, but no fumbles lost. Another stat that I think helped out a lot is we've been saying the first few weeks, it feels like Marcus has plenty of time on a good amount of throws, and he still ends up getting sacked.
17 times. That's for the season.
Yeah.
We're through 4 games.
So a big thing, this is another stat for you. First 3 games, he had the 4th longest average time in the pocket, 3.05 seconds. And this week, Marcus had the 3rd least amount of time in the pocket, 2.4. And we're getting rid of the ball. We're giving him enough time to throw the ball. He's not taking dump sacks. He's throwing the ball away. I think he threw the ball away 3 times in the first quarter. It's like I'd rather him do that all the time than take a stupid sack. And looks confident in his decisions, which is cool.
I'm curious because I wrote down so through the first 3 games he had an average QBR of 106, which is still like pretty damn good. Or I think it was 95. I think this last game booted him up. But anyway. So he's had 17 sacks against him, a 95 average QBR, and we've been like shitting on him the past 2 or 3 weeks because I mean he hasn't done anything to prove that he's a great quarterback, but at the same time statistically he's not a bad quarterback.
So far this year, yeah.
I'm just so curious how can somebody be so bad but statistically be all right?
I think that goes back to the sacks. Is he's taking sacks instead of taking risks, at least in the first 3 games.
That's a good point, yeah.
And I don't know if he took more risks this game, but he played it smarter. He was throwing the ball away, like I said. He also has the 7th highest quarterback rating in the league right now.
Maybe it's the decisions, too. Like, through the first 3 weeks, he wasn't making the best decisions. Taking sacks, throwing it probably where he shouldn't have. I mean, he's not. But at the same time, like, that loses games, too.
No, yeah, definitely. I mean, last year he came out looking nervous. Would usually throw at least 1 pick in the first half, and now he's just, at least this game and the season, he's not throwing picks, which is what loses you the game, is losing the turnover battle.
Yeah. The Falcons out-threw us. We had 227, and Falcons had 364. That's crazy. I mean, shout out our defense for not getting all tired.
Yeah, I mean, and a lot of that was the last 2 drives where we were playing pretty much prevent, and they were just throwing checkdowns. They probably got 120 yards off those last 2 drives.
But still, we got to Matt Ryan. Even though Matt Ryan is one of the better passers the league has seen in a long time, I mean, we got to him, and in the best situations, too, and did our part on 3rd and 4th downs.
Yeah, the 4th downs was a huge thing. It's almost like getting a turnover. I think we stopped him on 3 4th down tries.
Yeah.
And something that stood out to me was I feel like we usually, playing really good receivers, will give up a few bombs every now and then, but Julio only had he only had 52 yards. I think 4 receptions for 52 yards. I mean, for Julio, that's as well as you're going to do to stop him.
Adoree stepping up.
Yeah, Adoree and Malcolm Butler.
And Malcolm, yeah. I mean, shout out Malcolm Butler. The past year, he's done a 180. He's locked down. He'll take a dumb penalty every now and then. He took a stupid taunting penalty. But he's been locking down number 1 receivers all year, and it's been nice.
I mean, I don't know about all year, but he really played. He really did himself a favor this week.
Yeah, I agree.
I feel like he just gets burned, and I think that's just a lot of it's like inexperience. But he was playing good shutdown D this week, and I think our defense proved itself to be one of the better ones in the league this year or this game for sure.
I think this was the first, still going off the defense, the first time Matt Ryan hasn't thrown a touchdown in 18 straight games. I think that was right. Yeah. 18 straight games he's thrown a touchdown.
The crazy thing is, like, being at the game, we heard a lot of fans like blaming Matt Ryan and hating Matt Ryan, and they're like talking about quarterbacks they could draft, and I was like, I don't think it's Matt Ryan that's the problem.
The woman next to me yelled, "Put in the next quarterback. He can't be any worse." And I was like, "Oh, I guarantee you, he can be worse."
Honestly,
we're Vols fans and Titans fans. We know bad quarterbacks.
We're talking about Matt Ryan. Start talking about Dan Quinn.
Or the offensive line.
He's not a good coach, especially this year, or their O-line.
I mean, and that's what I was reading today.
They're working with their 3rd string guard, their 3rd string right guard.
Yeah, well,
same here.
We had to.
Jameel Douglas.
We're 2 and 2. No, but yeah, a lot I was reading. Dan Quinn's a defensive head coach, and a lot what I was reading about is Kyle Shanahan was their offensive coordinator back when they made that Super Bowl run, and ever since then, their offense really hasn't looked the same. So I think that's a big part of it too.
Which I think is so weird because, I mean, at least they're skill players like Devontae Freeman, Julio Jones, Mohamed Sanu, Calvin Ridley. They're probably the best receiving core in the NFL.
Well,
the Browns, one better.
One of them,
maybe not.
I mean, the Browns, Pats, Jarvis,
Titans.
and Odell.
Pats, Browns,
the Titans.
Yeah. I mean, when you go by like big
Hooper.
naно though,
Don't
and Austin
forget
Hooper.
Austin Hooper destroyed us. I don't know why we can't guard tight ends, but that's
he had 100+ yards,
130, 9 receptions. Yeah, he's. We struggle with tight ends when there's a dominant number 1 receiver, but obviously it doesn't win you games, so we'll take it.
I don't know if I really should have looked at Delaney's post-game interview. Did he have one?
I think very briefly. It was like a minute long. I saw it.
Or I'm just looking I'm looking forward to the one that we're going to hear tomorrow on Tuesday.
Yeah.
First day back. I think that's going to be it.
Why are you looking forward to it?
Just because he had that long monologue last week where he was like, I don't know, like, this is the worst. Paraphrase it for me, Griffin.
Yeah, he was talking about how young player. You chime in here too, Will, but he was talking about young players in the NFL, how they are so different nowadays than they used to be, because he's been in the NFL for like 15 years.
Yeah.
So he's like, the young guys are so much different now than they used to be. You used to be able to get on the young guys and say, like, give them a hard time, and now it's like, if anybody gets onto a young guy, he kind of like goes into a hole a little bit and kind of challenged the team a little. I don't think it was directed at the team. I think it was just NFL in general. But the young guys, I mean, A.J. Brown, they showed out this game, so they proved him wrong, I guess.
Yeah, I definitely took it as not directed towards the Titans, but I think he was talking about, like, society and the NFL in general now is, like, so soft. You have to be careful what you say, careful who you offend, because, like, if people get mad or, like, think their teammates don't like him, they'll just ask for a trade or like go like or start sucking or something. It's like I think you're just talking about like the softness of the new generation, pretty much.
I was listening to a little short like monologue from Pat McAfee on one of his shows this past week. And he was talking about. Do you guys remember Austin Collie, the slot receiver for the Colts?
No. I don't.
Seriously?
Yeah.
He was one of.
What was his name?
Austin Collie. And
Yeah. The white guy?
Yeah. And so
that guy.
before he had his 2 like hospital throws that like ruined his career, but he was talking about, like he was one of the best slot receivers in the NFL for like a short amount of time. And Pat was telling a story how Peyton, when he was the quarterback, Austin went out to go catch one of his passes, and Peyton missed him by a little bit, but Austin stuck out one of his hands, and it went off his hand, and he comes back to the huddle, and Peyton is there with his finger out pointing towards the sideline, and Austin's like, what? And he's like, no. And he says, get off my field. He says, get off my field. And so after the drive was over, Peyton like goes over and chews him the fuck out, and he basically says like, "Hey, if you try and one-hand any of my balls again, I will make sure you never see the field for your entire career."
Yes, sir.
Wait, why do they say that? In case he gets picked when he?
No,
he was just saying because he wants you to have 2 hands on the ball.
He doesn't want you
times.
trying to be Odell, trying to be stylish.
Like
Obviously, Odell wasn't.
Odell.
But like, there's no reason. Like, if you can get one hand on the ball, 90% of the time you get 2 hands on the ball.
But like, it reminds me of like the Delaney thing where he could like, Austin was a badass, and it was because like like in the NFL, like you could do shit like that. Like you could call somebody out like that, especially if you're the sheriff.
Yeah.
And really be like, hey, listen, man, I will make sure you never see the field for your entire career as long as I'm the quarterback.
Speaking of that, I saw it like 5 minutes before we started recording. I actually saw a video. There's no mic or anything, but it looks like Marcus yelling at Ben Jones for not getting to his man on the failed screen to Dion.
Yeah.
Marcus yelled at someone? I didn't know he could raise his voice above like 2 decibels.
I'll show you, but he's like next to Ben Jones, like walking back to the huddle, he's like yelling and pointing, and he's like, I was like, hell yeah, Marcus.
Love it.
Matt Ryan had one of those today too.
Yesterday. Yeah, I mean, but for Marcus, the most quiet guy in the NFL, but like that's another thing Titans have been struggling on is linemen not getting to their blocks on screens. Besides the 75-yard screen to Derek, I don't think we've had a good screen all year, and a lot of it's on our offensive line.
Do you remember that? It was that. Okay, so Falcons were driving. They had a really big play, and it got called back for a personal foul, unnecessary roughness, maybe. But so their center, I think, pancaked Jarrell, and then the dude did a body. The center did a body.
Oh yeah. I do
on
remember that.
Jarrell, and you could see Matt Ryan, and I'm gonna pardon my French. Matt Ryan yells at his center. He goes, why the fuck would you do that? And he's like, we are driving, like, get the fuck out. And so he's like, you could see it. I mean, he didn't mess up the rest of the game, but Matt Ryan was frustrated the entire game.
I don't know if you saw it on TV, but we saw it, like, Jarrell had, like, tripped or got pancaked or something, and then he, like, belly flopped. Yeah. And the ref calls a penalty, his mic is still on, and the center comes up to the refs.
You can't do that. He says, you can't do that.
Yeah, he goes, you can't do that. And, like, the mic is still on in Mercedes-Benz, so it was like, we were all like, what?
All the fans were like, whoa.
One more. Oh, shoot. What was I going to say? Never mind. It'll come back to me. Will, do you want to hit us with the tweet of the week?
Oh, yes. All right. I know everybody's tired of hearing about old Antonio Brown, but this was amazing. So, obviously, y'all know he's back in school at Central Michigan.
I don't know. Is he trying to get his
he's going back to get his degree.
Okay.
And he's
in what?
I'd love to know what his major is.
But, so, AB tweets out, my English paper is due by midnight, 12 a.m. Need a proofreader to make sure A's and B's.
And Will is not dyslexic. Just wait until he tells you how this tweet is
it's
spelled.
hard to read. So he spells, when he says my English paper is due by midnight, he spells do, D-O. And then he says, I need someone to proofread it. He spells it P-R-O-F. And it's like, and then the first reply is like, do with a little star, proof with a little star. He's like, I got you, bro. It's going to be a long semester.
So the guy quote tweeted it, and he said, I got you, bro. It's going to be a long semester.
Yeah, it's perfect. Just like, that paper's got to be brutal.
You know, it's weird hearing AB talk about papers like he's one of us. Like we're not watching him on Sundays on our TVs.
Imagine sitting in English class and freaking AB, who's been in the news for a year, is sitting right next to you, and it's like, That'd be hilarious just to see like a former athlete just like in your class.
Well, I'll help you with your homework if you sign this for me.
And that was Will's tweet of the week. I remember what I was going to say. So Sunday night, Saints are playing, and I'm sorry, I'm having a freaking mind fart. Who do they play?
Cowboys.
Cowboys, that's right. In New Orleans, and so it's right before halftime. Teddy Bridgewater is on probably the 2. He throws this little out. There's 4 seconds remaining.
Oh my God! Yeah.
There's 4 seconds remaining in the half, and so he throws this little out, and ball goes out of bounds. He throws it away, and Chris Collinsworth. They show a replay of it, and he goes, "I didn't know you could get a play off in 4 seconds. Well, let's watch this." And so they run it back in slow-mo like they probably would for any replay.
Slow motion, yeah.
In slow motion. And you see Bridgewater wind up and throw the ball out of bounds. And Chris Collinsworth goes, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi. And, like, it's in slow motion. So what's 2 seconds is really 4. And he goes, "I think they got that one wrong, guys." I'm like, "You dumbass. It's in slow motion." You could hear it through your room what I was saying.
I know I was doing my homework and I hear Jack go, "It's in slow motion, you idiot."
That's bad for a broadcaster. Oh my God.
I was like, goodness gracious. And we found like a replay of the broadcast, but that's like my sub tweet of the week.
That's a great one. What about,
all right, boys. Wait, what? No, what were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say anything else around the NFL.
No, man. Let's hit a mailbag. Let's hit a mailbag or two. What we got?
So we have I'll read one of them, and then Griffin has one from one of his
Undisclosed source.
You want to mention that, boys?
Oh, yes.
Oh, hey, while you're pulling that up, Griffin, explain that. Especially since YouTube just
sorry,
Sports
YouTubers.
TV.
Yeah, okay, so the TV's on, and it's a highlight of Andy Reid's post-game speech.
Oh, yeah, speech. Yeah,
speech to the team after they won. And it wasn't a good win. They barely beat the Lions. They won by like 5 points, I think, 6 points maybe, which for the Chiefs is not a lot. And then after the game, Andy Reid's giving his speech to the team. I can't say without laughing. And he goes, "It's all right, boys. A win's a win. Not everything's perfect. Not all of Mozart's paintings were perfect." And we're like, Mozart was a composer, not a painter. Yeah.
And then the tweet that went along with it was, "Yeah, big football guy." Something like that.
And
all
the whole,
he knows is football.
I love the locker room. They were just like, yeah.
Nobody else knew.
Yeah, Mozart's paintings,
They just went with it.
Yeah, who's Mozart? All right. I put up the mailbag late. That's my bad. For the future, y'all ask us anything in the mailbag. Doesn't have to be about sports. We know not all of you like sports, but
yeah, like ask us things like what's your favorite like weekend drink, or like
Pink Whitney.
I like this
Natural
guy.
ice.
What should I do?
Trust me, if there's anybody that should be giving dating advice, it's us three.
It's us three sitting at a table with jerseys on and hockey vodka.
All right, this one comes from our boy Chase Fields. He said, "Huge win for the Tits this weekend, but they're playing a decent Bills team, especially at defense. What can they do to win next week?"
We'll talk about the quarterback situation, Will.
So Josh Allen he's in concussion protocol from this past game against New England. And usually they, especially starting quarterbacks, they'll force them through concussion protocol to start the next week, especially when you're 3-1.
Yeah.
But I think their defense is top 5. Their defense is tough. They held – the Patriots didn't score an offensive touchdown, I don't think. And if you can hold that Patriots offense in check, we got some stuff to worry about. But I think to beat them, we just need to – really get Derek going. Obviously, use our receivers again, spread them out. We saw some great variety in formations for the first time this week. I think keep that going. Hopefully, Delaney will be healthy. We'll have another target on the field. I'd say spread the ball out, get the run established. Normal Titan stuff. I think just play our game. And I think, obviously, our defense, especially secondary and linebackers,
we'll put up a fight.
Can take Josh Allen. So I think the Titans pull it out. It's definitely going to might start off pretty slow. We're going to need some turnovers from the defense, and we need Marcus to protect the ball and protect Marcus. And we have Taylor Lewan back this week, so that should not be a problem.
Welcome back, Dad.
I hope not. Griff?
So, agreed with what you just said. I don't think the defense hopefully is going to have an issue stopping the Bills' offense. It's just the Bills' defense is really good. But the thing I really want to see is I feel like the Titans are very reactive on offense when it comes to whoever we're playing on defense, if that makes sense. So like we talked about a little bit earlier, when we're playing the Jags, we'll run it 40, 45 times, but then we just played the Falcons and we threw it around all over the place. So I'd love to see us actually sustain the momentum we just got in the passing game this past week and not just come out and say, okay, now we're just going to run it and Corey may have one catch or A.J. Brown may have one or two catches. Like, I'd love to see us play consistently, like play similar to the way we did last week, not like unrealistically, but just like throwing the ball around if it's there. I don't want to see him come out and just run it 50 times just because that's what the game plan says.
Bovada has us favored.
Yeah, I think we have
It's a 3 point.
3 points, yeah. 3.5 points. I mean, I'll probably bet it
straight 3.
Straight 3? That's weird. I'll probably bet us outright. Yeah, I mean, I'll take our secondary and our linebackers over anybody else's. D-lines, where I'm concerned, they have Frank Gore, which the Titans have never been able to stop.
My God.
That makes me
Miami.
No matter where he is.
we cannot stop Frank Gore.
Indy.
He ran us up in Miami.
San Francisco.
Yeah.
San Francisco. Buffalo. Oh, my God, man.
He's like the single player is the Titans' kryptonite, and he had up 108 yards on the ground last week. So
Father Time's got his number, though.
something like that. But yeah, I just think I'll take our defense against their offense over their defense against our offense.
I think it's only going to matter. They especially when you're talking about Tennessee Titans, you gotta ask yourself which team is going to show up that day. And Griffin and I talk a lot about this, but it's like you're either going to get like the best Tennessee Titans in the world who beats New England, Philadelphia.
I mean, the way we played last week, Atlanta.
We beat good teams. We also lose to bad teams.
And we lost to them last year when they were not quite this good at all.
I know.
So
Sorry, my brain's not working today. I can't even remember anything. But yeah, it's just all going to be what Titans team shows up. I think if the best Titans team shows up, we're going to win. I think if the past 2 weeks Titans teams have showed up, I think we're going to lose.
Yeah.
the first 2 weeks or
The middle 2 weeks.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Yeah. I
Good
think
Morning
we're gonna
Football, the TV show, always talks about, are we going to see the Titans or the Tritons? And I mean, I hate them saying that, but it's so true.
yeah.
And they're talking about, we saw the Titans yesterday, so that means we'll probably see the Tritons next week, and we won't come out ready to play. But I hope not.
lose. Like it's something you can predict. You know?
I mean, it's pretty
the weather
predictable at this
forecast
point.
says that the Tritons are going to show up this
Yeah.
week.
even Colin Coward said today, he's like the Titans and the Buccaneers are the two most confusing teams in the past 4 years. It's just like we either destroy a great team or we lose to the Jags 20-7. And
Yeah.
I mean, same with the Bucs. They beat the Rams. They put 55 on the Rams, and it's just like they'll win random games. But hopefully Taylor Lewan's angry, glad to be back, and I think we take it easily after a struggling first half for both sides.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's just going to be the keys to the game, is which Titans team shows up, can our defense work, and can we run the ball? That's going to be it. Griff, hit us with another one.
So that kind of goes into my mailbag question. We pretty much answered it. If you want to touch on something else. This is from old sis Nan, shout out. She wants to know why are the Titans so inconsistent, and what do you guys think they need to do to show more consistent play?
I mean, this is a theory that I have,
It's hard
but
to
it
answer.
is Arthur Smith, in my opinion. What game plan is he going to go with? Because I think our defense won us our first game. I think that's safe to say. I think they put us in good field position, and they even got a couple. We had a couple pick sixes.
Three
picks, one pick six.
Three picks, one pick six.
Yep.
So they put us in a great position to win. I think it's hard to lose when you have a defense that plays that well. I think our defense won us our first games. Arthur Smith was all bunched up in the next two. Couldn't really get anything out. Our only targets were stuffing it with Derrick Henry, which our O-line is not good enough to get a push yet, and throwing it to Delaney. So as we saw with yesterday's game, I think that if we spread the offense out and spread the love around, I think that that's going to be the difference maker, is making the Bills defense get on their toes about where the ball is going to be placed.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think it goes a little bit to what I was talking about a second ago. Just we play so. I understand there's a game plan every week, but we sometimes just play so differently on a week-to-week basis. 1 week we'll be in the I formation 30% of the time, and the next week, like yesterday, we'll be in the shotgun a lot and throwing it around. I just feel like we need to kind of make a more consistent game plan. Like, you don't see the Chiefs coming out in the I formation when they're playing a good secondary. Like, they know what they're good at, and that's what they're going to do.
Yeah.
And I get we're good at running it, but I just think we need to play a more consistent style of offense, if that makes sense.
We played like the Chiefs last week. We spread it out. We went empty a couple times. We ran the ball. We got the ball to different receivers, slot, outside. I mean, like, I think that's why the Chiefs are so good, is because they can spread the love, and then they've got a quarterback who can do it all.
And it's not, sorry, Will, to interrupt. It's not like we're going to throw it 50 times a game like Patrick Mahomes or anything, because that's not what we do. But, like, you can at least throw it 25 or 30. Like, there's nothing that's going to hurt us about that. But, sorry, we'll go ahead.
No, you're good. I don't think any person can definitively tell you why we're a different Titans team week to week. I think a lot of it relies on the offensive line and Marcus. I think our defense, if they can get a break and stay off the field, that they're the same pretty much every week. If our offense can sustain drives and protect Marcus, I think, and Marcus's head's not in his ass, I think we would be the same team every week. So O-line and Marcus is my inconsistency versus consistency.
All right, boys. Well, during these last part of the podcast, we're going to talk about the one and only Nashville Predators, who, okay. I was getting a little bit of applause. Yeah. Hey.
Golf clap.
Okay, good.
The clap with the mic in your hand.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about the Predators a little bit, who they play their first game on Thursday in Minnesota at 8 p.m. Y'all watch on wherever you get the Titans. I mean, Titans. Predators. But, okay. Preds week just ended. And talk to me about the patch, guys. The new patch that they're going to put on the Winter Classic jerseys. It's our first redesign since 2011. I think it looks great. I think it looks so good.
Yeah, I think it looks cool. If you want to, I don't know if you're going to put a picture of it. We may put it on our story or put a picture up somewhere if you haven't seen it.
On the screen right here.
No, I think it's cool. I think it's it's kind of like the old Predator we used to have, just a little like retro. I don't know if that makes sense. But
not like the saber tooth, like the bones, like the skull and bones.
Like the thing they had flying around in between the intermissions sometimes.
The blimp.
Like the actual physical animal.
Yeah, it does.
It looks like a little retro version of that.
I can't unsee that now. I'm looking at it.
No, I think it's cool though. I'm really curious to see what the front of the jersey patch looks like, because those are just the shoulder patches. I know there was some confusion about that.
Honestly, only OG Preds fans will remember the blimp that like dropped coupons.
Yes.
Like, during the middle
I never caught one. Not salty.
Not salty about it. All right, I'm gonna slide this over onto the screen. For those of you who are watching on YouTube, you can check it out. I believe it's showing up. Yeah, it is gonna show up on the screen. Heck yeah! Shout out tech. So yeah, what we got here is the new Predators logo that's going to be on the patch of the Winter Classic unis. My question, guys, is do you think we're going to incorporate like this design on the uniform right here?
That's the first time I've seen the side design. Yeah. I think it'd be cool if we did. I don't think it would really fit the theme of the Winter Classic, like the throwback traditional. But
then again, the Stars and the Preds aren't traditional teams either. So.
For our first Winter Classic, I like the patch. We're all up in the air about considering buying the jerseys or not, because they're a fat check of $269. So they better get the jersey design right, because, us three are going to the Winter Classic, and we want jerseys. It's the first time the Preds have been in the Winter Classic. I think it'd be cool for us to get jerseys, but for $269, they're going to have to be nice, and they're going to have to be cool. God. What jersey would you get if you get one?
I'll get Duchesne. And not because I don't want to be like basic, but I'm wearing Yossi. Yeah. I will never buy a Pekka jersey. I love you, Pekka, but like I never buy the jersey that is like the front page on like the buy jersey now thing. So I won't get a Rene jersey.
Me and Griff talked about it in Atlanta a little. He said Duchesne too. I don't know if he's still thinking that. I actually said Pekka Rene just because like.
That's just me. That's just me.
I was thinking about it. It's like. He has 1 or 2 years left.
Future Hall of Famer.
Can I hit you with something else that may influence your decision? I'm thinking this, like, if I'm going to spend $269 on a jersey, I'm probably going to wear it to the Winter Classic and then, like, frame it. I think I would frame it.
Hang it up in the man cave.
Because, I wear, like, my home jersey all the time. And I think I would just hang that one.
How much of those are the regular new home jerseys? I mean, they're
around that. They're like $215, $240, I think.
When I got mine on like a super discount because of like Black Friday.
It probably depends when you buy it.
I got mine for like $120, $130.
Okay,
that's not bad. I'm wearing a Yossi, so like that's not bad.
I mean, I get most of my jerseys off AliExpress or whatever it's called now, DHgate. I wear them so much, and I mess them up so much. It's like I'd rather mess up a $20 jersey than mess up one of those. So I'd probably frame my Winter Classic jersey and put it in my eventual man cave.
Well, also too, with the way that like players get traded around, like unless you're like getting a Pekka jersey or like a Yossi jersey or anything like that, like it's probably good to trash something like that too.
Yeah.
I also have the worst luck when it comes to buying a jersey and the player literally leaving.
Talk about that.
Okay, so I've got a Steve Sullivan Predators jersey, and then he either left or got I forget what happened to him. He left. He's still an OG Pred, but he wasn't playing for the team right after I got the jersey. Then I got a Martin Erat jersey, who was then traded for Philip Forsberg. I'm obviously happy about the trade, but I just have horrible luck when it comes to the player leaving right after I buy their jersey. So if I get a Duchesne one, hopefully he's not on the move anytime soon.
I mean, he loves it in Nashville.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I want Pekka. It's just like traditional. I think he'll obviously be a Hall of Famer. He'll be like go down in Preds history. And the only other jersey I have is Ellis, and I think he's secure in his spot for a couple of years. The only player I see getting traded this year is Turris. If anybody wants him, I don't see why anybody would want Kyle Turris, but
he's gonna step up this year.
Hopefully he steps up and we keep him. But I don't see us making many moves this year. So,
you boys want to do a quick? This will be our last podcast for the Preds play. You want to do a prediction or?
Yeah, I definitely want to do a prediction, and just so the fans out there know, this is Dallas. This is gonna be Dallas's shoulder patch.
Oh, I haven't seen this.
So that's gonna be their logo, and apparently they teased it for the Star. They teased it for the Stars via Twitter. So I wonder if that's gonna be their shoulder patch, just like ours is gonna be a shoulder patch, or if that's gonna be like on the front of their jerseys.
That looks like a front of jersey thing, but I mean
really
it could work.
Cool.
It could work on the shoulder.
Yeah. So anyway, Griffin, what are we predicting?
Preds game on Thursday. Obviously, we'll not predict every Preds game. I'm just saying it's the first one.
Oh, there's my email if you want to look at it.
If y'all want to do a prediction, we don't have to.
We could do season or this game. I mean, it doesn't matter.
Do we have a?
I think our YouTube our video's a little bit crooked. Let me fix it. Talk for a second.
Do we know who we're playing in the second game? Do we have a quick home and home with Minnesota right out of the gate?
I believe.
Or am I making that up?
I don't know for sure. You go ahead on. Or actually, I'll do season while you look it up.
Yeah, do your season.
I don't know. My hope is win the conference. I know Stanley Cup is wanted and needed, and we're kind of in a win now thing. But my prediction is we win the conference. I say we make it to the Cup, but I don't know if we can do it this year. With it, just NHL is so hard to predict.
Yeah, I agree, and I like that goal. I think win the conference is something that you're going to want to strive to do every single season. And I think this year's Preds team, if Poyle is doing what he wants to say he's doing, he really wants to give us two top lines. He wants to. He said this in an interview earlier today. He said that he really wants the Preds to have two number one lines and not like have a 1 and 2. And it kind of reminds me of like the way Pittsburgh does it, like with Malkin and Crosby.
Yeah,
like they both have like two very solid lines, and that's what makes them hard to beat. And especially when you're coming into a franchise that's so good like that, and I'd like to think that the Predators are involved in this, where you have like young talent, you throw them up onto the second line, they show out, and then they end up turning into a first liner. Like who's the young kid from Pittsburgh that we hate? Gensel. Jake Gensel. Like when he was younger, he was thrown on that line with Malkin, showed out, and then like we were afraid of the second line too. So it just makes the game harder as well. But anyway, to go back to what like the Predators, I think that you got to really have two number one lines. And you really have to be willing to switch them up. And NHL.com has us in the power rankings at number 4. Wow.
I'll take it.
So win the conference, one game at a time, boys. Here comes number 1 of 82 coming at you.
Yeah, so the game this Thursday, it says Minnesota at Nashville, so I guess it's home.
My bad. I think Google said it was away.
I don't know.
Sorry.
Well, if we open up the season in Smashville, that'd be hype. So... And Minnesota is one of the worst teams in the league. I already gave my Preds season prediction because we're going to win the Stanley Cup. But hopefully the Preds win big on Thursday. Minnesota will be one of the worst teams in the NHL this year.
They are home, sorry.
Yeah, they got Kevin Fiala. Hopefully we can hit him a few times. He scored on us twice last time we played him.
I miss you, Kev.
Yeah, that was Jack's.
Jack's a huge Kevin Fiala guy.
Yeah,
I miss you, Kev.
See if you can get a Winter Classic Kevin Fiala jersey made.
Hi, Kevin. All right.
Hi,
Kevin.
Kevin.
You want to hit baseball real quick?
Yeah, we'll do a quick baseball. We'll just stay on it for a couple minutes. Guys, my Boston Red Sox didn't make it. We won the last game of the season for a little walk-off against the Orioles, which, if that tells you how our season's gone, that will really tell you. But yeah, it might be the last game without Mookie Betts, or it might be the last game with Mookie Betts. It might be the last game with Brock Holtz. I'm very sad to be potentially seeing them go. But Red Sox did not make it this year. I'm really looking for a more dynamic bullpen, and we only won 55% of save chances this year. It was like 39 of 69 or something like that, 39 68 or something like that, and that's just unacceptable. You need to be winning at least like 75% of your save chances, and that probably costs us a spot in the playoffs. So my Red Sox aren't doing well, but Griffin, I'm going to throw it over to you. I'm actually really excited to see this NL.
Let's go, boys.
NL side of the playoffs. Don't want to watch the Yankees and the Stros battle it out for the AL, so I'm going to be on TBS all fall long watching the NL series. Griffin, kick us off.
Yes, sir. All right. My boys, the Cardinals, they made it very stressful on me. So we were up in the division for a while coming down the stretch, and then we're up one game on the Brewers with one game to play. And luckily we won. They lost, so we clinched the division. Playing the Atlanta Braves this Thursday, game 1. I'm taking the Cardinals, winning the World Series. We're a pretty clutch team.
In all seriousness, now I think that the Braves are going to be a huge, very formidable opponent for you guys. So I think that's going to be the most fun series to watch.
Yeah, I'm excited. We haven't been in the playoffs since 2015, so I'll take any playoff Cardinal baseball I can get.
I don't know what formidable means, but but no, I think it'll be. I mean, obviously, I don't watch much baseball. I love the game. I just can't keep up with that season. I'm excited to watch it. I'm excited for Griffin. Excited for my other boys that are Cardinals fans. But I think it's cool because we have a lot of Braves fans and Cardinals fans in Tennessee. So I think it'll be some fun rivalry, fun baseball playoffs to watch, and we'll definitely talk more about it once the playoffs start. I'll be watching games, so I'll be able to contribute a little.
Yeah, do you boys have a AL, NL? Did we already do that?
No,
World Series prediction?
I think the Dodgers are going back, and I think the Yankees have a good shot too this year. I think it's either going to be. I think that if I predict the AL and NLCSs, I think it's going to be. I don't know this playoff or the okay, let's see. I think it's going to be Dodgers. I think it'll be Dodgers, Cardinals, and I think it'll be Yankees and let's throw a wild card out there. Yankees and Rays. I think the Rays are going to run it through the wild card and get there.
There's always one team that gets hot. It seems like.
I know. That's my predictions. I know you're going to say that you both are going to say that the Cardinals are going to win the World Series, and I think that'd be really fun to watch.
Yeah, I'm going to say probably who's. The other good team? Oh, Astros. Astros and Yankees are the two.
Astros are always good.
Best division in baseball, right? I mean, best record in baseball.
No, that's the Dodgers.
The Dodgers overcame them? I knew they had it.
They were like that the entire season.
Yeah,
Astros had it with 2 games left. They were up by a game. Chase Fields was harping about it this weekend.
Well, Chase is a big Astros guy. All right, I'll give it my prediction. I'll shout out Chase with the Astros. They're solid. They always smack the Cardinals whenever we play them. So I'll go Astros out of the AL, probably Dodgers, Cardinals in the NLCS. That would be really tough for the old Cards, but I'm going to say we get it done. Cardinals, Astros in the World Series.
Wow. I'm sorry, Mr. Fields. Yeah, the Astros have the Dodgers by 1 win. I know that the Dodgers clinched very early, so I don't know if they were really going for the equivalent of the President's Cup in the MLB.
Is that a thing?
No, it's not.
Okay.
It's not. We don't give out dumb awards like that. But, I think that the Dodgers the Dodgers obviously clinched first, and I think they were just kind of putting, they were resting, getting other pitchers time so that maybe that'll pay off later down in the playoffs. So, I think that's going to wrap it up from us. We got 2 mailbag questions in. Y'all, we're also going to DM you if we answer your question on the podcast so that you can tune in and really find us.
And throw us a shout out on your story.
Yeah, throw us a shout out on your story.
If we do your question. Send us any questions about anything.
Questions about anything. Make sure that you share this podcast. Go give it a rating on iTunes. Go follow us on Spotify and go subscribe to us on YouTube. You can find us on Instagram at The Training Camp Podcast and on YouTube, Training Camp Podcasts. So definitely go and give us a watch and go give us a listen too. I mean, We love you guys. And we just want to make sure that we're putting out the best content for you. We're going to put out a poll later this week, too, asking how we can improve and like what we could talk about later and what you guys like might want to listen to as far as like bits or segments or stuff like that.
Yeah, tweet of the week, song of the week. Let us know what you like, because we want to
interact with you guys.
Interact.
Words. Come on, man.
Come on,
Not
Will.
great at English, great at knowing about sports. All right.
Will, who's your potential sponsor here in a little bit?
Natty Ice, sponsor me. Always drinking you. Beer of choice.
There you go. Griffin.
Go Vols.
who you shouting
Hopefully, Spit and Chicklets podcast, Pink Whitney's. Your boys got a big softball game tonight. Us three will let you know how it goes.
out? That's right. Boys, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at @the_jbeard. You can find Will at It's Will's World with double D's on the end. And Griffin at GBump
17.
God, that's changing.
G-Bump 17.
But with that, guys, we'll see you next week. Go Preds, go Vols, even though that's probably not going to happen. And go Tits. And see ya.
Peace.